going through some of the scandals, this is something Peter and I didn't cover. Maybe we could talk about that. You talk about some of the scandals that Doug Wilson has survived. Steven Sitler is a name we didn't mention. What about that? Can you tell? Because I researched this story. I talked about it a lot in one of the podcasts, the many scandals of Doug Wilson that he survived. What was the story there? Because for people who've never heard of that situation, can you clarify what happened there?
Sitler, some of the older ones I will start to get a little fuzzy on, so you might have to correct me
Mm-hmm.
just because we've rotated so
There've
many
been so
scandals
many.
now. But Sitler he was studying at Greyfriars and was caught molesting or being involved with underage children. And he had prior history of this. He had closed cases already against him, and he went to trial. It was apparently so bad that he was given a life sentence for
Yeah,
these crimes.
horrific abuse.
And not only was it, I mean, Doug was the main leader of support, and not only support, but writing letters of recommendation and holding himself up as some expert when he had no business. Not only age-wise, he had no experience, but he had no business coming between a court and a sexual offender, especially
Yeah,
one of such odious
yeah, it was horrific.
crimes. Sitler offended again and got caught, although we see him still out and about
Yeah, what's he doing
and
on the
still
streets? Yeah, but the
he
worst thing
certainly
about,
shouldn't
well,
be.
as bad as it was that Doug Wilson intervened between the judge and Steven Sitler, there's a whole nother element to the story, isn't it? He oversaw the wedding of Steven Sitler. He was the pastor who married Steven Sitler and this woman who was, I think she was a student at Greyfriars at the time, knowing that this guy is a prolific serial abuser of children.
And
Doug
considering
Wilson
it a
presides
seal,
over his wedding and
to make
marries
this
him to this
poor young
woman.
woman a seal of that sin
Yep.
is unbelievable, to put that burden upon her, and then her child, which is then the infant that
Yeah.
Sitler offended against.